ends down here have figure and curl. Put a little epoxy in here. We can make some nice boxes out of these edges here. So those was cut off the sides of a slab, and these are the two pieces that were cut off the ends of the slab, because this had the bark inclusion and a lot of checking here. The other side is great big bark inclusion, but look at the figure on this and this other one here as well. So we have those to work with as well to make unnecessary walnut necessary.
Say this cigarette's just another nail in my coffin. My lungs are shot to hell and I just can't seem to stop coughing. When my time comes and the end is near, I think I'll light one up and have a beer and hope and pray on my last day for a cigarette machine in heaven. Please let there be a cigarette machine in heaven, with no filter camels, Marlboro lights, and extra long Benson and hedges. I can't stop, but I just can't quit. I go through hell for a cigarette. Lord, please let there be a cigarette machine in heaven, and besides a cigarette machine in heaven, it would be real cool if I could stop by a 7-Eleven, grab a six-pack, maybe two, sit down and have a beer with you, baby. Pick a guitar or name a star, pass an eternity in heaven. Please let there be a cigarette machine in heaven, with no filter camels, Marlboro lights, and extra long Benson and hedges. I can't stop, but I just can't quit. I'd go through hell for a cigarette. Lord, please let there be a cigarette machine in heaven. Last request, I've saved the best Mexican food in heaven. I love chili relleno, a margarita on the rocks, no salt with a little lemon. When I stand before your heavenly court, won't you give me a pass for the times I fell short? And it would sure be nice if I could keep a vice or maybe two up in heaven. Please let there be a cigarette machine in heaven, with no filter camels, Marlboro lights, and extra long Benson and hedges. I can't stop, but I just can't quit. I go through hell for a cigarette. Lord, please let there be a cigarette machine in heaven. Please let there be a cigarette machine in heaven.
Wonderful piece right here. It's got all this figure. It's got a little branch coming out here. It's relatively clean. You can see it has a tree branch coming out there. So I'm going to attempt to mill this up to get the maximum I can out of here, knowing that my joiner is going to be used in this, and the most I can get out of that is going to be 8 inches. So with that being 8 inches right there, I can go there, and then That'll be 8 inches to there. So this will probably end up cutting off to there. But what I'll do is I'll make this cut and this cut, and I have those pieces, and I should be able to get 3 3/4 pieces out of each one of those. All right, let's give it a try. Okay, so I have my fence depth set for 8 inches. So I know that we'll probably end up squaring up another end, so it'll be just under 8 inches, so I can get that on my jointer. So this is wobble, so I'm gonna flip it over and cut it on that side. That appears to be a little bit better, so let's give that a whirl. Now I'm cutting this one piece into 3 3/4 inch pieces. Here's what I end up getting. Just wonderful figure. We'll be able to sand those up, square them up. Those will make a nice little box. All right, now we have this cut into thirds. We're gonna let it rest, because here's the deal. The moisture meter on that side says 7.5, which is dry enough to work. And on the outside on this side, we have 9. Now, this is 8, but if you flip this over and look at the inside of this back piece, it says 17. That's too wet. So here's the inside piece. One side says 9.5. Well, that's 10. Okay. That side feels wetter. It's 11. Inside piece 12.5. Outside 5. We're gonna have to let this set to dry out. So we cut these 3 pieces and let them rest for about a month now. And you can see they've maintained pretty straight cuts, but that's not always the case. Look at this situation. We cut this board into 3, and look at the amount of additional drying and warping and cupping that this thing has done. This thing is absolutely horrible. So that's why you let them rest. Anytime you cut a highly figured piece, lots of figure in it, grain, you have to let it rest because it's going to continue to move. Make sure you get it dry enough before you use it. Hey, if you liked that video on how to use offcuts from slab lumber, be sure to give me a thumbs up. If you liked our music or want to know more about it, leave me a comment down below and I'll be sure to pass that along to Michael. If you want to see more of our videos, consider subscribing down below. And as usual, come back and see me real soon.